Right, let's start with this story now. Investigations into the Chris Hani Baragwanath Hospital piping theft continue. On Monday, an unidentified visitor gained access to a restricted area and cut copper piping supplying oxygen to an ICU ward. At least 23 patients were affected, leaving medical staff scrambling to save them. eNCA's Manqoba Mchunu is covering the story, and he joins us now live to tell us more. Manqoba, how far are these investigations? Do we know who the perpetrators might be?
Well, at this stage, Masiho, there's no indication as to who the perpetrators could be in this instance, but we do know, of course, that investigations are continuing. There's a case that has been opened with the South African Police Services, and also we understand, Masiho, just recently that the Hawks have also been roped in to investigate the matter. But as far as the hospital is concerned, we understand that they're also investigating this particular issue. But what we do know at this time, Masiho, is that there were two incidents that occurred here at this hospital. One that happened on Monday, where a copper cable or copper pipe, rather, Masiho, of about 10 meters was stolen and cut off from one of the secure plant rooms here in the hospital, and that ultimately led to the ICU ward here in the hospital not being able to receive crucial oxygen that was meant for the patients that were there. We know at the time there were about 24 patients that were there, and of course clinicians had to scramble, Masiho, trying to move those patients. We understand that it took about 5 hours for them to be able to move those patients and to stabilize those patients. As you understand, Masiho, that this is a ward for critically ill patients in the hospital. They were moved ultimately to other wards, and yesterday they were subsequently moved back to the ICU after those repairs had been done to that copper pipe that was severed. But Masiho, there was another incident that we understand occurred on Tuesday. When that process was unfolding, they then learned of a cable or copper pipe that was also cut, and this was at the theatre of the hospital, to be exact. I think it was theatre 15 and 16, where they noticed that there was water leaking from that particular theatre. That's when they then discovered that another copper pipe had been cut from the hospital. So we understand investigations are continuing at this stage, but the Department of Health are not ruling out sabotage. They are insisting, Masiho, that it is an act of sabotage, given the fact that this room was in a secure area, and secondly, there was electronic access to this room. So nobody could just enter this particular premises except for somebody who they say would have intricate knowledge of how it operates and where to cut these particular pipes. But take a listen to what Motali Modiba from the Health Department had to say on this issue.
The plant room, where it's located, you needed to know exactly where you were going and what you were going there to do. And this is why we believe that it's probably an act of sabotage. The matter has been reported to the South African Police Service in Diepkloof for them to, they were on site actually, coming to look at the situation, because it's the second incident that we have reported in as many days that they are currently probing. We are concerned that it seems like there is, while we are trying to improve the healthcare system, while we are trying to close the gaps where there are weaknesses, there seems to be people that are hell-bent on waging a war against communities. I mean, if you attack an institution like Bara in the manner in which it's been attacked now, it's clear that you are declaring war against communities there, especially when you know the significance of that particular facility, the amount of people that it services, and the fact that not so long ago, we announced a backlog in terms of your surgeries and so forth. And now you have this kind of incidents. This is not an accident. And the MEC was on record yesterday saying that in as much as a case of theft has been opened and so forth, she would really want a situation where those that are responsible for this heinous act are actually charged with attempted murder, because people's lives are at risk.
And the police, Manqoba, what are they saying?
Well, Masiko, what you do understand is that there has been a case that has been opened with the Diepkloof police. Of course, they are investigating a case of theft at this particular point. But as you heard the department spokesperson, they're saying, Masiko, that they want the police to look up beyond that. They want them to also investigate a case of attempted murder, given the fact that these were critical, patients at the hospital that were being cared for at these wards. It affected a lot of their operations and nearly cost lives. Masiko, because when you cut an oxygen supplying pipe, you are compromising people's lives. I mean, we understand, Masiko, that some of the patients had to be resuscitated and that it was really a scramble for those clinicians to try and stabilize those patients. So they want them to also look into charges of attempted murder. But we know that the Hawks has also been roped in. In fact, the Provincial Commissioner General Elias Mawela confirming to eNCA just a short while ago that the Hawks are also going to be looking into the matter to look at the security breach that happened in this particular hospital, because it is quite concerning, Masiko, given that we know that this place was in a secure room, the plant itself was in a secure room, and so there are many questions about how exactly that security breach had occurred. But take a listen to what Provincial Commissioner Elias Mawela had to say about this investigation and the Hawks' involvement in this.
I am aware of the incident that happened at Barra Hospital. It was reported to us. The CEO have informed us. The MEC also called me to inform me about that incident. And we did send investigators who can go and interview everybody, including the securities in that particular space. So the case docket is being opened and it is under investigation by our provincial DPCI.
All right, let's hope they find the culprits that did this. Manqoba Mchunu live for us in Soweto at the Chris Hani Baragwanath Hospital. Let's leave it there for now.